Well, hey guys, well, I finally got this thing all together here. Now the bullet or the case feeder you may have seen before. I put that up already, but I wanted to do a collator for this. So there's the collator right there. You can see the IR sensors right there. It wasn't a direct shot down to the press, so I had to do some bends. That is just plastic conduit for electrical wires and stuff. You can get that at Depot or Lowe's, any of those stores. And none of that's glued together. That's just slip fit. There's the IR sensor on the bottom. So when the cases hit that point and it goes empty at that point, then it'll fill back all the way up to the tube to these sensors here. But when you start feeding, it doesn't kick on until you get down to this bottom sensor again. So the motor's not just constantly going on and off. I did line the inside of this chute with some plastic. I put a piece of plastic tubing in there, trying to keep it from rattling as it falls down. We'll see how that works. That's only just double sticked in there, so I can take that out if it doesn't work out for me. So that's pretty much the whole setup there. So, but that IR unit right there, and I'll walk you across the bench here, and we'll go back to, this is my sizer right here, my star sizer, and that's the unit right there that I built for it, the electronics. And this also utilizes the IR sensors too. So I just right here made these connections with small little 4-prong plugs. So I just switched them back and forth between the machines, and you know, then that'll give me the IR sensors on there. And then I just swap the plugs on whichever motor I'm not using. I just swap that out, and that'll power this unit over here. So right now it's ready to accept cases. I have it turned off, and I'll show you how this IR works. So switch it on. Now, so to go past this bottom one, it's going to fill it right up to the top one right there. And when it gets to the IR, it shuts it right off. So it'll go for a while before it kicks back on, which is a nice thing. You guys pretty much seen this before, but this is the ultimate Square Deal B. I didn't do any modifications to the press itself. The screws underneath that hold the lifting mechanism, they're held on by the 2 screws. They held on the primer tray. The only thing I did do, and it's not to the machine itself, is right here is the crimp die, and that sticks up. All of them do. They stick up real high, and it wasn't allow me to swing my powder hopper over. So I just cut that down, and I don't know why they make them so high, but you can still see the hex on it versus, and I'll come over here to this press, and you can see how tall this is. So I just cut this down, and that just gave me a little bit more room for this, because I was really fighting all this plumbing right here because there's no straight shot to anything. So that's pretty much it. So this is a Square Deal B on steroids, and pretty much you guys seen this thing work before, but you know, one other thing I did was, you know, you're gonna say, well, you know, I got a different powder, I want to work up a load, and I don't want this mechanism to work. Well, I got you covered on that too. So all you'd have to do is pull the handle down. It drops the case right there, and underneath here you can see that leg. That's the activator. You just take this pin right here, you drop this pin in there. Now that leg stays right there, and it won't load any more cases. So you can pull the case out, you know, check your load, do whatever you have to do to the powder hopper to get everything right, and when you're ready to start loading again, just pull this down, pull this pin out. Now it'll activate every time you want. And I'm doing this handheld, so it's gonna be a little shaky. And we're back to a full setup on the case feeder on this thing. So that was my adventure, and usually these things take a lot longer than I want them to, but you know, now I got a nice setup here. The only thing I did do that kind of ticked me off was I cut this down a little too far. I wanted it a little higher for something else I was going to try, so I might just have to put an exterior clear piece of plastic on that and you know, build it up again. But other than that, that is the unit. So I guess this is the first fully functional Square Deal B with a case feeder and collator that I've ever seen or heard of. So it is doable. So all right guys, that's my contribution. I'll catch you later.